Good day. My name is Ashwin Ravichandran and I'm speaking to you as the Managing Director of MEST Africa. I come from a city called Chennai in India, from the state of Tamil Nadu. At the age of 11, I started writing code, and at the age of 13, I had represented India in the International Robotics Olympiad. I think this was due to the fact that my dad was one of the first software programmers in 1980, and my mum was one of the first women in India to start working with banks. In 2008, I had the opportunity to join college and learn about a subject at that time which was unheard of, which was called artificial intelligence and neural networks. I spent countless hours writing code to actually decipher YouTube video classifications and figuring out what artificial intelligence could do to change the world. In 2010, I had the opportunity to graduate from university early, and I happened to get a job at Honeywell. At Honeywell, I was designing real-time data solutions, designing customer experiences, and designing aeroplanes for all of Honeywell's customers and vendors across the US. Fast forward to about 3 months at working at Honeywell, I had actually quit. I felt uninspired, felt very lack of ambition. I think the need to change had automatically gone away. In April 2011, I happened to meet another friend of mine in Bangalore in India, and we happened to start our first startup. Fast forward to December 2012, after having 2 incredible successes for startups, I had my first failure. In March 2013, I had my second failure. And in July 2013, I had my third failure. Then, thinking and broken, obviously, regarding not understanding how to deal with failure and obviously having a lot of internal conflict, I happened to chance upon a program called the Young India Fellowship, which gave me an opportunity to work with 99 other leaders from India. Us, who we defined as change agents and youth leaders, got into a program which had 24 courses over 48 weeks, and thereby also giving us a chance to work on a real-time project. This real-time project, which I happened to choose, was with the school in very rural Bihar in India. This school, who were the rat-eating community of India, and I happened to work with the students from those communities. In December 2013, I realized that there was a dire need for academic change and holistic change in the way we were building leaders. I felt that academic education and holistic education had an imminent gap in making sure that we were actually creating future leaders for the market. After working with multiple educational institutions across Asia, I happened to look at MEST in Africa. I joined MEST in 2015, and currently I speak in front of you as a managing director in 2020. At MEST, and again, people ask me what MEST is. MEST is basically the Meltwater Entrepreneurial School of Technology, started by a serial entrepreneur, Jorn Lysagen. Jorn came in 2007 to Ghana and decided to set up MEST to make sure that we're creating future software leaders and future software entrepreneurs who will go on to change, 1, the world, 2, Africa. Sitting at where I am today at MEST and having worked as a teaching fellow, as an incubator manager, as a country director, and now as a managing director, I can tell you the journey of a leader is not easy. Having countless failures across the way and having a few successes, the story of leadership is often driven by ambition, driven by motivation, and definitely driven by the need to see change. Story of failures. In this talk, we try to understand what you need to actually find transformational leaders. Leaders who overcome obstacles with resilience, leaders who actually learn on the way, leaders who build people, and more than often not, leaders who fail. Leaders are often found at places with great complexity and imminent chaos, often working with a social economic influence to grow their ventures, their people, and themselves. Before we jump into the process of finding leaders, you need to ask yourself this: when was the last time you faced adversity? Did you solve it the first time, or did you fail? Did you have a team supporting you in this? Did it change the way you looked at the problem after you solved the adversity? Finding leaders is the most often difficult things, as often individuals don't realize or don't have the belief in themselves that they're capable. Please remember that the first part of being a leader is being self-aware and basically trying to see within yourself. After finding basically transformational leaders, the next process is to create a system and infrastructure that makes sure that leaders start early and often become understanding of what the goal is. For example, at MEST, we often go through 4,000 candidates to choose 60 candidates who want to become entrepreneurs. We do this elaborately by making sure that the individual goes through a very inclusive 7-step process to make them realize and nurture their dream of becoming an entrepreneur. We help them understand the end goal to become an entrepreneur and thereby introducing the methodologies of thinking of becoming one. At MEST, we truly value the individual, we value the talent, and thereby we also value basically the opportunity. In this way, if other organizations came forward with inclusive strategies and often indulging individuals to start thinking about leadership from an initial step, you will often realize that in the Western world, there's already management trainees, and in Asia, apprenticeships are actually very, very popular. They tackle the recruitment of eligible individuals early enough to engage them to become leaders. It is time for Africa to develop its own. And if I'm not mistaken, there is a massive amount of cultural intelligence which needs to go into identifying our current leaders and our future leaders. To corporates, open your doors, think inclusive of your talent and value loyalty. To academic institutions, think holistically. A leader isn't born in academic classrooms, a leader is born with the proximity to the problem. To NGOs, development institutions, and remember to expand your holistic view of who you want to impact. To each and every individual who is listening to this, please remember that there's a leader in you. Thank you.